Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Rebecca Dever and today we're going to be talking about 10 self-paced homeschool curriculum options you can get. Now let's jump in with Veritas Press. Veritas Press offers a whole bunch of self-paced homeschool curriculum courses you can get. Now Veritas are a very high quality, they offer video lessons and your workbooks as well. They're also after the classical model, so they tend to be a little bit more rigorous. But if your child is doing a self-paced course, which they offer, then that isn't a problem. Now, Veritas are offering 100 off this month.
That's pretty good.
I'll have details in the description box below. Again, a very, very Christian, gospel-centered homeschool curriculum, so I recommend it. There is also Lifepac by Alpha Omega Publications. Now, this tends to be, it's not really on the rigorous side, but it's not really on the easy side. And your child essentially gets all of these workbooks in the mail and they can complete the whole thing themselves independently at their own pace. This means it's a really good option for a working parent because the parent doesn't need to set them up with anything and they can do it at their own pace to make things a little bit easier, or they can accelerate their progress. There is also ACE Paces who are very similar to Lifepac, but they tend to be the less rigorous side of things, definitely not as hard. And again, the child can open up the paces and do them themselves. These are Christian options. Another great self-paced homeschool curriculum, especially for your elementary grade students, is all about learning press. Now these guys offer particularly reading and spelling, so they are fantastic, especially if your children want something that is hands-on. They have like flashcards and they've got learning tiles, so the children can pick up these things and learn with them instead of just reading it out of a book. They're very self-paced and you can use them with multiple grades at the same time, which is such a win-win in a homeschool situation. Another great self-paced homeschool curriculum is Compass Classroom. Now this is a classical homeschool curriculum. That means they use things like the grammar, the logic, the rhetoric stages of classical education. If you don't know much about that, I'll have a video linked on all the different homeschool methods, or you can do my homeschool parenting program, which is basically a fundamentals course on how to homeschool for new homeschool parents. But Compass Classroom is great because it's made for homeschoolers by homeschool parents, so they know exactly what they're talking about. Compass Classroom is particularly made for middle and high school students. It tends to be quite rigorous and children can learn about lots of different things, as you would expect to find a lot of different electives for your high schoolers and even your middle schoolers. This is also a course that is taught by a lot of very well-known people. It's also quite affordable because you can get curriculum for your entire family if they're middle to high school aged for the same price, or you can purchase individual courses separately. Another great self-paced course is Apologia. Again, Apologia is very much after the homeschool market and are written for homeschoolers. Now, Apologia is a Christian science, it's very much a creationist, but it teaches children critical thinking. It teaches them to really be able to say, yes, we can have faith, and yes, we can be good scientists as well. Now, they're very much a narrative way of teaching, but they're hands-on as well, which is a win-win, and you can teach all of your children at the same time with Apologia. Apologia gets rave reviews, honestly. Like, you go online and somebody says, what science curriculum should I use? And somebody will say, use Apologia. I'm a big fan of it. Now, another one that gets rave reviews is Notgrass Homeschool and Geography program. This is fantastic. And again, somebody says, what history program should I use? And somebody will say Notgrass because it's seriously good and it's self-paced. Children can do it at their own pace. What I like about this one is that you can have your children all come around you and you can teach them no matter what age they're at. For example, their Notgrass Homeschool History, their Adam to Us program, which is actually for middle schoolers. I have a 6-year-old and he will sit there and listen to these lessons and he can understand them. And that's because even younger children can understand these lessons easily, and even high schoolers will get something out of them. Goodness me, I'm an adult and I'm sitting there going, wow, I didn't know that. Oh, that's really interesting. And so it's teaching even me. So that's what I love about it. The other thing about Notgrass history and also Apologia is that they're really flexible programs. And so you don't need to have this rigid schedule that children need to obey. I didn't mention with Apologia is that they also have video lessons, which will appeal to a lot of people these days especially. Notgrass tends to be more offline, but it's something that it's just lovely to sit around and do that curriculum together. Or if you like, the child can sit down and read the book themselves. Notgrass is such an open and go homeschool curriculum. You just open it and you read the lesson and it tells you what to do after that, and it's seriously easy. Another one to think about is Masterbooks. Now, I love Masterbooks. My son does the Real Cool History for Kids podcast, which is free on Spotify, and he loves to listen to it. And that's because Angela Odell, I think her name is, she teaches children through stories and through narratives. You know, you tell somebody a story and they really get into it. And you know, I know the value of a self-paced homeschool curriculum because I went to school myself and then I started homeschooling with a self-paced homeschool curriculum. When I was at school, it seemed like I had my hand up all the time. I needed so much help. But then my parents were like, this isn't working. And I felt so dumb. I felt like I was the stupidest, duncest person in the class. And then my parents started homeschooling me and I could do the curriculum at my own pace. And then my parents could help me through. And then eventually I got a little bit of confidence with it. And then I went really quickly and I finished my year 10 and my year 11 all in 1 year. So it's not like I was slow, but sometimes you need a self-paced homeschool curriculum so you can go slower when you need it and faster when you need it as well. As a result, self-paced homeschool curriculum are fantastic if you have a child with medical needs, perhaps intellectual disabilities, or you have on the other side of the coin, you have somebody with giftings or somebody who's just a little bit faster than normal. Don't send them to school. Instead, get them home doing self-paced homeschool curriculum so they can accelerate their progress and they're not wasting all of that beautiful brain activity. You know, self-paced curriculum are all well and good, but sometimes you just want a curriculum where you can sit round with your whole family and teach them at the same time so you don't need to duplicate things. This is a really good way for you to learn alongside your children. And you can do that if you get a family-style homeschool curriculum. And I talk about a lot of those options in this video here. It's a must-watch, so go watch it.